Okay, it's Sunday again, and once more we have another game lined up. Once again, 2,500 points. Um, and this time it's once again against another different army. Once more another eBay purchase I probably shouldn't have purchased, but just couldn't resist a really good deal. We'll point out that a lot of my armies are just purchased off eBay. I don't actually have infinite amounts of cash. They are generally things I find in the middle of the night for buy it now. So yeah. Um, so so this game is going to be against obviously Size Demons. Pretty much the same list yet. No, he's changed it actually. I'll let him tell you about it. But for me, it's Dark Elves. Like I say, got a really good deal off of eBay. It's pretty much a complete 2,500 point list. So once again, I apologise for loads of unpainted models, but I only just got them. So um, right, so I'm going to run you through the list. First up, we have a Bolt Thrower. Then we have 10 crossbowmen, 30 Black Ark Corsairs, 10 more crossbowmen with a level 1 of fire, 29 power dice and a level 4 sorcerer, 20 Blackguard, a proxy for a Cauldron of Blood. I really like it, but I haven't been able to find one cheap enough on eBay yet. So for now, it's like a Sleepy Hollow style tree. So I thought that looked quite good. And with a Death Hag BSB. We've got a Hydra, one of the older ones. That looks pretty cool. And a 10 cold ones with a noble general. He's got a nice selection of gear. But yeah, so he's sitting all the way over there. It's the battle line mission. As normal, it's because it's a new army. We're just playing battle line. Just get the most out of stuff. Yeah, quite looking forward to this. So I used to play Dark Elves back in the day, so he'll be schooling me on how to use them. Hopefully I can work it out. But they certainly seem like a lot of fun. Oh, and also I'm taking the Law of Dark Magic on my level 4, who's got, well, you'll see the spells as the game goes through. So I'll hand you over to Si, see what he's got.
Yeah, as I said, I used to play Dark Elves a long time ago. Back in the old days when the Warhammer box set you bought was High Elves versus Goblins, and you had the cardboard cutout of a Rock Lobber and Grom the Paunch. So yeah, those were good times. Dark Elves were basically designed to rape High Elves, which mine always did rather nicely, making my good old friend Will Turner rage quit on plenty of occasions. So yeah, it should be interesting to play against these guys because I've still got all my old models, but these look excellent. I've not really looked at any of the new stuff, so yeah, I'm eager to see what they can do now. So my army is pretty much the same, although I have swapped out a few things. So I've got a unit of 30 Demonettes with a BSB. I have a Skull Cannon of Khorne. I have 5 Seekers. The Ogres there are actually proxying for some Fiends of Slaanesh. Now, I had some pretty bad luck with the Seeker Chariot, but then again, in the last couple of games I've used it in, it hasn't really done much at all. It's been pretty useless. So the Fiends, they're good movement. They've got excellent, so they can close the distance really nicely. That unit can put out quite a lot of attacks. They're pretty nice. So yeah, I'll see whether they're worth the sort of 65 points each that you've got to pay for them. And I've got my go-to general, a Keeper of Secrets. Then I have another unit of 30 Demonettes, although this is going to change. Probably one of the units, well, definitely one of the units is actually going to be of Khorne Bloodletters. I will have the model soon, so yeah, when I get some time at work to get stuff assembled, then yeah, for definite I should have a almost fully unproxied Chaos Army, which will be quite nice for you guys because obviously all you've been looking at is a load of Ogres and Marauders. And then the final part is my other skull cannon. So we're playing the battle line mission, and I finished my deployment to go first. So yeah, I get the +1, and yeah, we're going to dice off, and we will see you at the end of whoever wins.
Okay, so we rolled off. I rolled a 6, I rolled a 5, but he obviously got the +1, so it was a draw. So we rolled again, and I actually won. So I got to go first. Grudgingly accepted. Right, so start of the turn, I gave the Hydra a 5-up ward save, just try and keep them alive. Obviously, Sive and Flaming Cannons, probably the bane of Hydras. I failed my stupidity test, as probably written. On a 9, I rolled a 10, so they failed and stumbled forward an inch. And then I got down to it in the magic phase. So, getting ready to blow them up with all my awesome spells, and I rolled a 3 for the magic phase. No channels, luckily so I didn't channel either. So on my level 4 I attempted the Power of Darkness, so I dispelled it. And then realised all my other spells were out of range anyway, so I went to switch over to my level 1 with Law of Fire. Had the Dark Star Cloak, so she had an extra power dice. And then I used the Power of Darkness, throwing 2 dice at it. Managed to get it off and get an extra 2 dice, so I had 5 in total. 1 from this cloak, 2 from that I had before, and then the net gain of 2 from the Power of Darkness. So I had 5 dice, put in a big fireball, fired at his Demonettes, got 8 hits, only 4 wounds, and then saved 2, so I only killed 2. That was a bit of a shame, but at least I got something off. Made me feel a little bit better. And then in the shooting phase, these were guys were mostly out of range, so I was only hitting on 6s on the Seekers, and actually failed to kill any. I got 1 wound and so I saved it. Then these guys fired at the Demonettes, got 5 hits, 3 wounds, and so I saved 2 of those as well. So his saving's doing pretty well already. Yeah, so, and that was it. So it's the end of Dark Elves turn 1. Oh, sorry, the bolt thrower fired at the cannon, hit it, wounded it, and so I saved that as well. So you can't fault his saving today. It looks like he's going to have a good game today. So that's it. That's the end of Dark Elves turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Daemons turn 1. Everyone moved up, moved around. The Fiends and the Seekers moved up maximum 20 to get in there. And yeah, and then in the magic phase I got a 7. I tried to cast Miasma on the Hydra. Then Ollie dispelled it. Then I tried to cast a big Withering on the Hydra with 4 dice. I then rolled the highest dice roll was a 2 out of all those 4. So I failed to cast, and then in the shooting phase, it was pretty standard for me. I missed with the first cannon shot against the bolt thrower, and then the second cannon just blew itself up. So yeah, pretty standard turn for me. And yeah, that was about it. A rather standard turn of yeah, pretty miserable luck. So yeah, it's on to Dark Elves turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 2. Movement wise, there's no charges. These guys passed their stupidity test and moved up. The Hydra moved up, knowing that the cannon was dead, felt much more confident. Still didn't fancy going in front of those Demonettes though. Blackguard, Power Dice, the crossbows, Corsairs moved around a bit. The Cauldron moved up. These guys stayed where they were, thinking there's not really anywhere I can get away from them. And yeah, the bolt thrower is obviously still there. Then in the magic phase, rolled an 8, got no channels, so I got 1. Cost the Power of Darkness, so I didn't dispel it. Got an extra 2 dice on top of the 1 I invested. Then I cast, what was it called?
Black Horror.
Black Horror, yep, on these guys, hitting at 18 of them. And only actually managed to kill 4. Rolled really bad, or sorry, rolled really low, which is his forte. And this time it paid off. Then passed some ward saves as well. So he lost 4 out of 18, which is pretty good. Then I cast a Doom Bolt at them, killed another 4. That was much better, because I hit wounded all of them, so I passed a couple of war saves. And then he's rested dice on a big old fireball at the cannon, which is really stupid because I was going to aim it at those, but I completely forgot. And of course I failed to cast it, so that was a bit stupid. Then in the shooting phase, these guys fired at these guys, did a wound. These guys fired at them as well, did another wound. And the bolt thrower fired at the Seekers and killed 2 of them. So, and that was it for shooting. So that's the end of Dark Elves turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Demons Chaos turn 3. Basically what happened was the Seekers charged the bolt thrower, the Fiends charged the crossbowmen, and the Demonettes here tried to charge the Black Guard. Unfortunately, I needed a 9. It was a bit of a sort of hit and hope. Unfortunately, I only rolled a 6, so they just edged forward 5. The other guys got in because they were proper close, and then everyone else just moved up and around. So yeah, it was a bit. It's getting a bit annoying because these big hordes are getting outmaneuvered a bit too easily in these games. So yeah, then was it Magic Phase? I tried casting Miasma on the Black Guard, a big one. I rolled nice and high, so that forced Ollie to throw his Dispel Dice at them. And then I managed to get Occam's off on here, so at least they're not going to get, probably not going to get charged. So yeah, that was basically it. Shooting. Unfortunately, the remaining cannon misfired, trying to shoot at the Cauldron of Blood. Although in a freak of fortune, it failed to blow itself up. As normally they pop like balloons. So then in close combat, the Fiends slaughtered 8 of the crossbowmen, and the other 2 fled, were easily caught and overrun. And then unfortunately the Seekers dirred a bit when it came to killing the bolt thrower crew. They managed to kill 1. I rolled pretty badly for everything. So yeah, so that was pretty pathetic. Although I have held him in close combat, so it can't shoot. So that's not too bad. That was about it really. It was a reasonable turn, but still disappointing because really I needed to get into the Black Guard and started working my way through his units, and with Occam's on, that would be happening nicely because I think I might also be in close combat with the sorceress's unit as well. But yeah, unfortunately I failed that charge. It was a big gain, but yeah, we shall see what now happens in Dark Elves turn 4. Okay, it's the end of Demons turn 4, and yeah, basically I charged my severely depleted unit into the Black Guard. I then moved everyone else around, and yeah, rolled really badly in the magic phase. I got a 3. So my BSB was picked out for an instability test, which she thankfully passed. And then only got 3 dice. Ollie channeled, +1 for his item. And then to cap it all off, I needed to cast. Well, I wanted Occam's on these guys. Obviously, couldn't have the power dice to cast it, so I tried a bigger withering, which was slightly less, and then failed to cast by 2. So yeah, that was pretty bad. Then in the shooting, my cannon finally did something and killed his Hydra, which was great. Then in close combat, I managed to kill another 1 guy. Lost none in return, but due to static combat res, I ended up losing the other dude. Let's see. Then in close combat here, so I'm buffed and the other unit unhexed, I still actually managed to kill a massive 12. I popped the breath weapon that the Herald had. I also used her crushing mass impact hits, getting 3 wounds with that straight away, which was lovely. And then I rolled pretty well in close combat, and yeah, managed to kill 12 in total, losing only 1. So with Ollie being
horrendous.
Yeah, that was really bad. That was terrible, but thankfully for Ollie, they were stubborn and passed the leadership test. So that wasn't too bad at all.
I'd say you wrestled it back actually.
Yeah, well, it's
A hell of a lot healthier.
it's not looking too bad because holding those guys up was massive. So yeah, we shall now see what Demons turn 5 brings.
Okay, unfortunately we had a bit of confusion with the turn numbers. I think we went from turn 1 to turn 3 for size half. And I actually completely forgot to film one of my turns, unfortunately. That's my turn 3, I believe. So apologies for that. Hopefully you can work out what actually happened. I can't even remember what happened now at this late stage. But hopefully you can glean together through the turns we did actually film what happened in my turn 3. But now we've corrected it now. This was actually my turn 4. Size turn 4 is coming up. Now, so in this turn, my crossbowmen reformed to face the Seekers. These guys moved up. Blackguard stayed in there. Unfortunately, these guys failed a stupidity test. They weren't going to charge the flank, but failed it and just stumbled forward 5 inches. So that's why they're sitting there. And that was pretty much it. The level 1 moved out of the unit and hoped to cast a fireball on these guys. And that was pretty much it for movement. Then in the magic phase, we had 5 to 3. No channels either side. I cast the Power of Darkness to let it through. I then cast, what's it called? The one that does strength 2 hits for everyone. Which reminds me actually, she's gained extra wounds from that. I can't remember what it is, but it does strength 2 hits to the whole unit. I killed a few guys, I think I killed 2. So she's got 5 wounds now. And yeah, so just killed 2 with that. And then I cast, what was the next one? I cast Doombolt, I think it was. Did I cast Doombolt?
Yes.
And dispelled that. And then I cast Black Horror, which was luckily just in range of these guys. Hit 18 of them, I think it was. And I rolled pretty well, and I think 9 of them died. So that was a pretty good game. So that was the end of magic. And in shooting phase, the crossbows hitting on 5s managed to kill the 2 Seekers, only just. That was it for shooting. Then in close combat, these guys whiffed again. Did nothing to the Seeker. He killed a couple in return. Lost the combat, but managed to pass his instability and still managed to reform as well. So I just reformed into ranks, thinking that if they did actually go on my side, at least I'll have a decent few attacks against them. And then in this combat, Size Luck finally gave out, fluffed loads of his attacks. I killed loads in return. Well, I didn't actually kill loads, I killed 3. So unfortunately crumbled down to 1 wound on his Herald, so his Herald's still holding me up. And I put the 5-up ward on these guys as an afterthought. Luckily Side let me do it. Need to remember that. This is a Cauldron of Blood, not a tree. So that was it. So that's the end of my turn 4. And like I say, apologies for the missing 1 turn, but I guess it happens every now and again. So we'll look into Size turn 4 coming up.
Okay, this actually is the end of my turn 4. The Demonettes charged into the flank of the Corsairs, and Lord Squeak tried to charge at the Sorceress. She decided to flee, so then he decided he'd set his attentions on the on the crossbowman, who also decided to flee. And then after that, he felt he couldn't be arsed, so just stumbled forward one. And yeah, so that was rather nice. At least those two units are fleeing. When the crossbowman nearly fled off the board, they'll probably be back this turn, but oh well. And then magic phase. Well, I've got 6. I tried to cast Phantasmagoria, failed quite miserably, and then with that, the shooting phase, I shot a cannon at the cold ones and killed 2. Then in the close combat, I killed 2 more of the blackguard before succumbing, and then over there I killed 6. I rolled really badly, managed to kill 6 dudes, although Ollie rolled even worse and only killed 1 demonette. He put 3 wounds on my fiend, but the fiend was up for it and made all of his armor saves. And then Ollie needed snake eyes and fled off the board. And the fiend chased him while the demonettes reformed. So yeah, that was fairly successful, and we're now sort of coming into turn 5, and it's pretty much even Stevens really as to how it's going. So yeah, we'll see you at the end of Dark Elves turn 5.
Okay, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 5, isn't it? Yeah, it's 5. End of turn 5. You may have noticed I've switched sides. That's just because my phone's running out of battery. I just put it on charge. Right, so it's all gone a bit tits up really. Okay, so I managed to rally my crossbowman and my wizard. I put the 5-up ward on these guys because it looks like they're about to get into combat. I've left the wizard in there because I was hoping to stab some dudes, which I did in the end. But she has a 5-up ward save and 5 wounds now, so she might be able to survive. She's still got some options open even if she does get into combat. The blackguard pretty much stayed there. These guys attempted a long bomb charge against his general. Unfortunately failed it. I did need a double 6, but I thought it was worth it because I wanted to move up anyway. So they ended up moving up 6, so he's probably going to get a charge on me, which would be pretty bad. But you know, I had to do something because those cold one knights are not getting anywhere quickly. The magic phase, unfortunately I rolled pitiful. Rolled like 4, managed to get a channel though. Although I did actually get the extra power dice for her, but never mind. She cast a fireball, did just a low one, level 1. Only got 1, killed or hit a demonette, and so I saved it. My other sorceress, Sarah, this is what I did first obviously. I attempted to cast Power of Darkness like I've been doing, rolled a 1. Stabbed a dude, rolled another 1. So that was the end of her magic phase, hence the rather crappy one with her, which I attempted to cast Power of Darkness with, so I dispelled it, and then hence the very small fireball which did nothing. So that was the end of the magic. These guys couldn't shoot because they rallied, and there was no close combat. So that's the end of my turn 5, and it's not looking very good. I'm sure somewhere along the game I've lost my way, and so he's going to punish me for it like he deserves to. So he's going to hand you over to his turn 5 now.
Okay, it's the end of Daemons turn 5. The Keeper of Secrets charged the Cold One Knights, and the Demonettes charged the Spearman Bunker, aka the Power Dice Bunker. The Fiend just moved on, and my cannon moved up a little bit. Then in the magic phase, I tried to cast Miasma on this unit to lower the general's weapon skill, because I figured he'd challenge me out. Ollie dispelled it. Then I threw 6 dice at a Occam's Mind Razor. Rolled like 29, but Ollie with his last 4 dice managed to get a double 6 and dispel it. Then in the close combat phase, he challenged me with his noble, and with his combination of disgusting magic items, he would have survived. However, I was lucky enough to get 1 wound through, and because he had the multiple wound special rule, I actually finished him off. And also I managed to kill 2 of the unit with impact hits from his crushing mass. Then over here, I chopped up sort of 6 elves, 5 elves, and did a wound to the sorceress. So yeah, won the combat, but Ollie was steadfast 10 with a reroll, and yeah, unsurprisingly passed. So yeah, not bad there, not bad. So yeah, things going fairly my way this time. So it's now on to Dark Elves turn 6.
Okay, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 6, and what I thought was slowly turning in my favour, end up not turning in favour. All happening in the same turn, oddly enough. So, charge-wise, I charged the Black Guard into the flank of the Keeper of Secrets, and that was it. Then the magic phase, I can't remember what I rolled, but I rolled pretty well. I think it was 3 each. Also, I had one from Darkstar Cloak, which I never got to use. But basically, I threw my dice at Chill Wind, which did loads of strength 2 hits to his unit, killed a fair few of them. Miscast, killed 6 of my guys, killed quite a few of his. Did a wound to his Herald, did a wound to my Sorceress. Sorceress didn't get sucked into the void, which is nice. Then we fought the combat. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, so that was the miscasts. And I sort of lost the power dice, so I couldn't cast anything with my other wizard. Then in the shooting phase, this guy's fired at the Fiend, killed it, scored me 390 points. Then we fought the close combat. These guys fought each other. He did 4 wounds to me with his double wound attacks. So I went down to 1. Obviously I got extra from Chillwind, and he's already got 1 in from the miscast. This was a push. He killed loads of mine. I killed none of his, but I held on steadfast 10 with a reroll, so that's nice. Then he's Great Demon, just killed him with Blackguard. A bit dumb, charged him in, and consequently run down my knights, even though I did a further wound to him. So he's got 2 wounds left, but he killed them all, so then scored himself over 600 victory points. So yeah, it's not looking too bad for the Daemons, and he's got turn left. So so that's the end of Dark Elves turn 6, and it's certainly not looking very good now. So see what happens in Size turn.
Okay, it's the end of Demons turn 6, and the end of the game. Basically, the demon moved up. This tried a long bomb charge, which failed. Then in the magic phase, I tried to miasma them. Ollie dispelled it, and then I tried to Occam's them, and Ollie also dispelled it. And that was the last thing Sorceress did, because then in the close combat phase, I butchered her with my Herald. I then managed to kill 3 guys. Ollie killed 1 back, so he just managed to knock off Steadfast. He just managed to hold on to Steadfast, but it didn't matter anyway, really. Well, it did matter actually, because he then rolled a 9 and held, so it was all good. And that was the last thing that happened in the game. So yeah, now we'll top the victory points up and get back to you and see who has won.
Okay, so just in case we weren't sure, we totaled up the points. That's pretty clear who won to me. I got, was it 1200 and...
Yeah, you got 1240 victory points.
Yep, and Sai got?
2062.
Yeah, so a massive win to Sai. Absolutely slaughtered me, really. In what proves to be a really interesting game. Certainly from the start, by about the end of turn 2, I thought I was winning. I thought I was kicking his ass. Then by the end of turn 3, I wasn't. Then by the end of turn 4, I was doomed. End of turn 5, I'm pretty sure I was winning again. End of turn 6, I definitely kicked my ass. Wow, it was just a really exciting game. It was a really fun game. Stressful at times when things let you down, but I think we both suffered with that this time rather than just Sai.
QQ'd like a motherfucker.
Yeah, so I had a lot of QQing, and I think I got a bit grumpy at some point. So, but at the end of the day, it was just a really good game. So I was really enjoying those Well, the Dark Elves seem like a lot of fun actually. I was reading bad things about them, but I think they're quite a balanced army really. I think if you scan things too deeply, like the Hydra, maybe it's undercosted and that, but then you've got to look at the whole army as in total, and maybe it isn't. Obviously, only had one, so it's not so bad. And so I was pretty unlucky when it came to killing it as well. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the army. I liked having these smaller units. The side was suffering with these hordes. Yeah, I'm kind of bored of hordes really. I like them with my orcs, but I'm kind of bored of just shuffling two hordes around and getting. So I liked the smaller units. I was quite disappointed with the Blackguard, but I think it was just bad luck. I sort of run the numbers and I thought they'd be pretty good against like 7 demons.
Yeah.
But in the end, 7 demons killed them all, pretty much. I was pretty dumb charging him into the flank of the demon as well, just handing him extra combat res. Though Solid was quite kind and only attacked them rather than thunderstomping them and killing the cavalry. Anyway, so the game went pretty well. I was quite happy with my tactics. I liked the whole swinging round thing. It's a shame that the Cold War Knights kept failing stupidity and held me back quite a bit, because I was hoping to get them around there sooner. But then the BSB wasn't in range of them, so it was always a risk. Although they did fail it twice before they even got into combat. And one of those fails actually stopped them getting in combat, even though it was a really easy charge. They failed their stupidity, so that came back to bite me. And obviously my general rolling at 6 at the opportune moment really hurt as well, because he just died and didn't really do anything. So he didn't really pull his weight. Right, so unit-wise, Cauldron Blood I really like that. I'm certainly going to try and pick up the model if I can find one. So that was really good. The crossbowmen, they pulled their weight. I like the fact they can move and still shoot. That's nice. I certainly hated that with the Empire stuff, because even if you wheel, you can't shoot with them. So I find that really irritating. Although these are short range, it makes up for the fact they can move and then shoot. So I think they're good. Hydra did really well, considering it's facing 2 flaming cannons. But that was just bad luck on Sizepot. There's no reason why it should live that long. The Corsairs didn't do a whole lot. But then, they're not supported by shadow magic or anything. And those fiends just kept rolling those saves.
Mind raise on those guys, and that would have been.
Yeah. But didn't really want to go there really. Not yet. I will soon enough, I'm sure. But for the first game, I really like the Law of Dark Magic actually. I think it's got a lot of spells, and I really like the Power of Darkness. I think it's my favourite thing about them actually. Yeah. Just knowing that I've got power dice all the time.
Very, very reliable magic phase.
Yeah, especially with the sacrificial dagger. So I found myself every turn rolling the first dice to try and cast Power of Darkness, then stabbing a guy if I failed it, which obviously backfired in one of those turns, but that's pretty rare. So it gives Si a big decision whether to dispel that or dispel the spell I actually cast. So my theory being is I just cast loads of little spells, and sure it will dispel a couple, but I'm bound to get a few through. And they mount up after a while. So even a crappy magic phase with just 3 dice ends up getting off like a spell, and you dispelling one. So
yeah, that went really well.
Yeah, so I really like that reliability, and that's one of my favourite things about Warhammer is the magic. So I like reliability in magic, and they provide it. Certainly don't think that'll be happening in the new book, but that's quite a while away. So I'll just enjoy it while it lasts. Blackguard's obviously quite disappointing. They got hammered by those demonettes, which they shouldn't have. But that's going to happen every now and again. So I suffer from his own share of bad luck, so I deserve some as well. Cold War Knights probably the turkey of the match for me though. Failing their stupidities, failing a charge, although it was a long bomb charge, then just getting killed by these general. They just didn't do anything. That was just misuse, I think, more than just a failed unit. They look so good, I'd probably use them again. And that's what I happened to have. So my noble was on paper really good, but it just you can't fight greater demons with a noble and expect to win. Even with the pendant of Kaleth, I'm about to roll a 6 at some point. Fortunately, that is my forte, rolling 6s, and Size is rolling 1s. So if we'd swap round magic items, that would have been a duel for eternity. Bolt throwers. Shame it's 100 points, but it's not bad. That's what I've got. I like the Hydra, but it was good. It got that breath weapon off, so can't fault that. But yeah, man of the match really is the humble spearmen. I think they managed to survive most of the game. I think they did actually survive the game. They survived the whole game. Provided power dice when I needed them. I charged in as a bunker. And I was quite happy to charge them in even with the sorceress, who had 6 wounds and a 5-up ward. So that's not too bad. So yeah, I was really liking those. I didn't really think I did too much wrong. It's just I was the flanking manoeuvre I was making seemed pretty solid. I don't really know what went wrong actually. Size stuff just awesome, and he played pretty well. Got some rolls when he needed them, and yeah. I think the last few turns he certainly shined with a lot of stuff he was doing. Trying to use Demon against though. Well, I made a dumb move charging those Blackguard in, but those knights were never going to kill that Demon anyway, so I just had to go for it really.
It wasn't a bad idea, and that's why I targeted them first, because obviously they would have been wounding that Demon on a 5+.
Yeah,
rather than a 6+, which was why I chose to attack them first, because
no, they're only strength 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. They're only strength 4. They're only got halberds. They've got great weapons. So yeah, so really, I think the optimal thing you should have done was just attack the knights and thunderstomp the things. But then you wouldn't necessarily roll a 5 on the thunderstomp and kill them all anyway.
That's it, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it paid off. You killed them, so it didn't matter. Yeah, so I certainly enjoyed the army. Certainly not shied off from this one. Certainly a lot more fun than Wood Elves. Didn't really enjoy those, I'm afraid. So anyway, Wood Elf fans out there, you're probably not going to see much more of those. It's a good army, and that I think it's certainly got, like I say, it's coming to a renaissance in these big horde kind of games. But it's just too much like 40k for me, just little skirmishes and that, so I didn't really enjoy that so much. Did like a bit of a smackdown. And this army is kind of a nice compromise in between. I would see them as the like a compromise between High Elves and Wood Elves. A bit of both, So it's quite fun. Yeah, so I enjoyed that, and I'm just wittering now, so I'm going to hand you over to Si and see what he thought of the game.
Yeah, well, that was a very interesting game. There was a lot of swings and roundabouts, and as I said, sort of it looked bad come turn 2. It looked great for me come turn 3 and 4. Then it looked really bad for me come turn 5, which also came with very much QQ, which is probably a good job that you guys couldn't hear it, because I was whinging like a bastard. Well, the whinge gods listened to me. And I must admit, I was getting a bit grumpy and getting a bit fucked off, and Ollie had got lucky and had miscast and blown up next to nothing of his unit and a shit ton of mine, and I was getting all had a hump. And then and I expected then to lose that unit, which I thought would cost me the game. And yeah, then as it turned out, bugger me if that they then didn't fluff everything, stay around, and then I got the chance to kill his sorceress. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. My jaw pretty much nearly hit the floor when that happened. I was very shocked, because I did expect to lose that unit. I think probably the turkey of the match for me has to be that first cannon. That was god awful. That just didn't do anything. It just blew up, which was a shame. This guy didn't do too bad, to be honest. He killed the Hydra, and he killed 2 cold ones, which was nice. So he did at least make his points back, but still not amazing. Although there wasn't really that much to be able to shoot at, to be honest, against this army, because the sort of infantry aren't much. There isn't much point shooting infantry with this, and such small units, you never get any real profit. But yeah, it was good. The Great Demon did well. He got into combat, chopped some stuff up. I was quite pleased with that. I was a bit disappointed with the Demonettes that were over this side, even though they did really, really well against the Blackguard. I think that was more my luck than anything else. Because like Ollie said, they shouldn't have killed very many at all, which is that's fair enough. They didn't have any buffs on them, so they were in a bit of trouble. But yeah, I think the trouble is that this army is a bit unwieldy, considering how fast it can move. It's very, very unwieldy. The big units really make me suffer. So what I'm tempted to do is maybe make some smaller units. I quite like the idea of that. I keep saying I want to make a tally list as well, but also the call of the new High Elves is coming on strong, and as people may remember, I did double with High Elves before, but found them a bit boring on account that it was pretty much one build, and that was all you took. So now I'm hoping that there'll be some more fun things I can do with the High Elves. I've still got all my models, and I shall be ordering a book this week. So yeah, I was supposed to go to the Isle of Wight festival, but couldn't make it. So now all the money I've got for the ticket can be spunked on Warhammer instead, which is good. So expect to see some High Elves at some point. I like the Chaos Demons, but the more I play them, the more I feel they suffer from the shadow of Matt Ward. He made them far too powerful the first time around, and now they're nerfed. I mean, whoever wrote I say whoever, we know who wrote, Cruddance wrote Warriors of Chaos. There were certain parts of that book that were overpowered, and I think he maybe went a bit too far with that. But overall, with that book, he was sensible, and he gave things that were needed. He took away things that were too powerful. The swings and roundabouts, things are a bit different. But I think he did a much better job than what Matt Ward did with this Chaos Demons book here, because this book really lacks any synergy at all. Because the Chaos laws really don't synergize that well with what I've got. I mean, Shadow Magic is a better synergy than the Slaanesh law, simply because the Shadow Magic gives me Occams and Miasma and Pit of Shades, and Withering and everything else. It's a brilliant law. I'm glad I can take it, but so can half the bloody armies in the game. Yeah. And it does exactly for those armies what it does to this one. There's nothing really.
Yeah, there's nothing clever about it, is there?
No, you just.
Occam's Modern Race or anything.
You just.
Occam's Modern Race with Skaven slaves, and they're brilliant.
Oh, don't. That's my dream. Oh, Occam's Mind Razor on. Oh, old Storm Vermin with Skaven Brew. Oh, yes. A Skaven player can dream. But, I like Chaos. I should definitely be keeping these guys. Although I think I shall probably be perusing some High Elf stuff as well. So I'm thinking High Elves are going to be my fourth army. I might also spend a few quid of that money I have on padding out my ogres a little bit, because I fancy at least completing the Mournfang unit up to the full unit of 4, just for looks really. Because the ogre army is getting pretty finished now. I haven't painted anything in ages, probably 2 months. Which reminds me, I should probably go on Warseer and apologise for my tardiness, being a month late. But yeah, all in all, it was a very good game. I think I QQ'd a bit too much in turn 5. Just real good job. You guys didn't have to listen to that, but it was very, very swings and roundabouts, and I rather enjoyed that. But I'm kind of getting the eager twitch of wanting to play Skaven at some point. Unfortunately, my book is somewhere within Nurgle's pit, otherwise known as my bedroom. Unless Ollie did actually carry out his threat and burned it. I hope he didn't. But yeah, so I might even have to go out and buy another Skaven book. So I might have to have a hunt around eBay.
I hear it's out of print. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'll because I really have enjoyed playing Skaven. I have a large army that's nearly finished painting actually, other I need another 10 storm vermin from somewhere, and I need to paint them. That's pretty much it, really, other than a few characters. So yeah, I'll probably give them a go at some point. It'd be interesting to see how they fare against the Dark Elves. It should be quite funny actually, because yeah, they're quick, very manoeuvrable, and value life about as much as a Dark Elf does. And old Squeaky can watch from the background, knowing that he's done a good job today, and these little rats might do something else. I really like using him as a keeper of secrets as well. It's quite funny. It appeals to me. So yeah, just to recap, I think Duffer of the match was the other Skull Cannon, not that one, because it actually did something. And the man of the match, I probably actually have to say, I'd say it's actually the Greater Demon, because he killed the rest of the Greater Demon, closely followed by those 7 the 7 demonettes that eventually got killed, because between them they wiped out the Blackguard, and my Greater Demon also spanked Ollie's General and his Cold Ones. So yeah, good game, and yeah, we'll see what next week brings. Knowing Ollie, probably another eBay army purchase.
No more. Not for a while.
Well, I think we're struggling to find armies that we don't own. I think it's probably just Beastmen, isn't it?
Yeah. You never know.
If he gets really desperate, he'll get Beastmen.
If I really want to lose.
So, well, no, Ollie, you'll find some way of getting something dirty out of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One call.
So
probably involves Occam's mind room though.
yeah, that's true. Usually solves all the ails. So yeah. So with that, we will see you next week for another game.